Jim Marshall, New Bedford Cable Network. We're at State Pier here. State Representative Tony Cabral is with us as we have just witnessed the Ernestina coming back to port. A long time coming. This has been a project of yours for a long time. The delegation must be real thrilled to see it back in the port.
I'm delighted, right? This is wonderful to see the Ernestina finally back at its home port. We've done a lot of work on this, and I must say Senator Montigny as well. This is the day we were waiting for, right? We've been at this for a long time, but I think persistence, tenacity, and partnerships really made it happen. The state, along with some of the private donors, and SEMA as well, did a lot of fundraising. So I think this is an effort by many people, but I think the state played the major role. And I must tell you, when I say the state, the legislature, and in particular myself and Senator Montigny.
Why, for your estimation, why was it important for this vessel to get fixed, for her to come back here to New Bedford?
Well, very important, because it represents a gift of the Cape Verdean people to the people of the United States, in particular the people of Massachusetts. We accepted that as a gift, so it's our responsibility to maintain it, but not maintain it as a museum. It's never meant to be a museum, or else it wouldn't be in the water, right? It was meant to be a ship that would be sailing, would be used for educational purposes, and now it's in this particular phase of its return. Not only the public school, not only the school kids in New Bedford and the surrounding communities will be able to participate in educational programs, but the students and the cadets and the future cadets at Mass Maritime will have the ability to be trained on a tall ship, which they don't have that access now. So I think it's the best for the vessel, and I think everybody. I'm extremely excited, as you can tell, and I know the Cape Verdean American community in New Bedford is really excited about this. They've been working along with us, and this is the outcome. I mean, it's fantastic.
You've talked about on the show a couple of times how important, I mean, the legislation was a work in progress, but you were pleased with the result because, as you just alluded to, it's going to be at Mass Maritime, but it's also going to be here in the city during the year as well.
Well, absolutely. The legislation that we passed is actually in law that has to be in New Bedford the next number of days throughout the year, in particular in the summer, also around the Recognition Week celebration of the Cape Verdean Recognition Week celebration in New Bedford. And here, the birthplace of the Ernestina Morrissey is also written in law. So she will always have her place here. She can't be evicted from the State Pier.
But you were happy as well that Mass Maritime, as you said, it serves a dual purpose because now there are going to be cadets training on it. So it's a dual purpose.
Absolutely. I think this was a great partnership. It was a great outcome of all the discussions that we had over the last several years. Where's the Ernestina going to be? Where the right place for the Ernestina to be taken care of? And Mass Maritime, during all those discussions, were willing to say, yeah, we'll operate it. We'll work with it, and we'll work with the community. And at the same time, the cadets right now on the next curriculum or the next school year will have an opportunity to really begin to get trained on what it is to sail a tall ship. And those are valuable skills that they cannot get on the regular ship that they use now. So I think it's a great win for everybody. It's a great win for the vessel itself, for the cadets, for the school kids in New Bedford and the surrounding communities. And I know she will visit other communities throughout Massachusetts and also other ports like Providence and Connecticut and other places that have large Cape Verdean American communities.
And she looks great.
She looks wonderful, doesn't she? Fantastic.
Jim Marshall back here at State Pier with the captain of the Ernestina, Tiffany. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful day.
I couldn't have asked for a better day.
Tell me about you were saying that you got off from the Mass Maritime at 7 o'clock this morning. You came in here about 11:15 or so. How was the trip?
The trip down was great. We picked a perfect day to bring her in here. The weather, it was a little bit breezier than predicted, but it wasn't as windy as it was yesterday, not as windy as it's going to be tomorrow, so we got really lucky on the weather. It was cold, however, probably with the wind chill, maybe the mid-20s.
From your standpoint now, because I know obviously you came from Booth Bay, Maine to go to Mass Maritime and here, how is she handling?
She's handled really well. I'm really surprised how she responds. Now, we've only had her under power so far, not sail power, but just from the engine. I've been very pleased on how responsive she is.
When people see the ship, I mean, as you and I were saying, I haven't seen it in 7 years, and she looks beautiful. Anything different or anything that people will notice other than it just looks new?
Right. I think one thing they might notice right away is her stern is a little bit different than from when she was here last. She actually has more of a historically accurate stern for her. Over the years, as rot would happen, they just kind of cut back a little bit, and it changed over time. But now she's more historically in line with what she used to be. I wasn't a captain before I saw her a long time ago, right here at the same pier in 2003 and 4. But I think they're going to notice quite a difference, but a lot of similarity too. I'm really looking forward to getting her to sail and see how she handles under sail. But we had about maybe 5-foot seas on their way down from Maine, and she took it really well.
So the vessel itself is going to be here. It's going to be at Mass Maritime. I know it's a training vessel. Your thoughts on just the future of the Ernestina?
She has an amazing future ahead of her. I mean, part of the legislation is still providing educational programming for New Bedford and, as they say, the gateway cities of Massachusetts. But she's also an ambassador for the Academy. We'll have cadets on her. We've already been asked to participate in the Gulf Coast tall ship events next year, which looks like we're going to go down. So we'll actually leave New Bedford around beginning of March of next year and go down and represent the state and the Academy in 3 different ports throughout the Gulf, and hopefully we'll have high school kids on board as well from the area doing that trip with us, so it's going to be a great future for her.
Rep Cabral saying that's huge in that the cadets will be learning on it because they don't experience that for the most part and a lot of times, but also the high school kids. The education component of this vessel now is huge for its future.
Yeah, I mean, she always has been since she's been back in the States when she was gifted from the Cape Verde people back in the late 70s, early 80s. Education's been a real key part of her, and it's going to continue.
And as you said, so you're looking forward. How is your crew ready to go? And they seem to obviously be ready for what comes next.
Yeah, so we're just about done for the season. We got her here. Next thing is get her ready for winter, our short winter break that we have. But we're actually still finishing the vessel. We still have to rig the vessel. And some aspects of her are not complete from the restoration. It's going to be completed here by local craftsmen.
Sounds good. Great meeting you. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.